and then the G20. The word is that the hosts, Australia, in a very monstrous exercise in lack of hospitality, that they're going to stage some kind of an incident against Putin. I'm afraid the Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott is a fool. He said he wants to shirt front Putin. How dare you? Move the G20 to Geneva or someplace where they can guarantee a decent atmosphere. You cannot have negotiations under those circumstances. Of course, a lot of hysteria that Russian warships can indeed sail all the way to Australia. Defense Minister Shoigu warning that it's necessary for Russia to conduct various kinds of reconnaissance operations in the Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico, and so forth. Those are those bear bombers that come up over the Kola Peninsula and above Scandinavia, and they fly down the eastern coast of the United States in international airspace and then land in Cuba or someplace like this. Not so surprising. Cameron opening his yap, getting into the act, right? Perfide Albion, he says, the weaker Russia gets, the more assertive you are. Interesting, as we had hoped, when it comes to the European Union specifically, right? They have the monthly meetings of the prime ministers. Mogherini, the Italian woman who has taken over from the awful dumb cow Baroness Ashton, Mogherini is cooling it. She's pro-Russian and she is blocking the various nasty things that some people, especially the British, Perfide Albion, are pushing. So this is panning out. Unfortunately, the government she left behind, the Renzi government, looking not so good. Putin, at the eve of this G20, saying, look, the G20 resolutions are not binding. They had promised to do things in the past that they didn't do, and sanctions, of course, hurt everybody. Russian media also points out, you remember this phantom submarine that the Swedish military said that they had found. This called up, of course, the memories of Whiskey on the Rocks back in the 1980s when a submarine really did run aground. There's also and so it turns out there probably was nothing there. This was all manufactured out of thin air. What a shame for Sweden. I thought you were supposed to be neutral. And then the Mistral, these amphibious assault ships built by France and sold to Russia. If the French don't deliver them, of course, then their reputation goes to hell. Who can trust such people? So all of that happening. Now, concerning the Middle East, the 24th of November is supposed to be the date at which the nuclear negotiations between the Permanent Five plus one Germany comes to a conclusion. A lot of people speculating it may simply be prolonged. We here absolutely support a U.S.-Iran or Perm 5 plus 1 nuclear deal with Iran. The name of the game here is war avoidance. And the demands, I think, are they're clearly unacceptable. You cannot tell a country you have to remain underdeveloped so that we keep you at least 1 year to nuclear breakout. It essentially means you can't get modern nuclear technology. You can't get any kind of modern technology. The Israeli position is that Iran must not be allowed to be a threshold state. Well, if that goes for Iran, does it go for Egypt too? Does it go for Turkey too? I think this is absolutely absurd. It is selective and vindictive, and it's going nowhere because Russia has now announced that they will be building a total of 8 nuclear reactors, quite possibly, starting with 2 and then most likely 6 more over time. And I would just point this out. In terms of economic development, what's behind the scenes at that G20, there is a demand from the less developed countries for $1 trillion of infrastructure investment. That's good. The only way you're going to get that at a decent rate, close to zero, since there's clearly an asset which can serve as collateral, the only way you're going to get that is if it's done by nationalizing the central banks. A revived Export-Import Bank could also play a big role, but here you're going to have some kind of an international authority. Please look at Surviving the Cataclysm, where I write about the multilateral development bank, the true replacement of the International Monetary Fund. Of course, now that we have the BRICS Bank, why does the BRICS Bank not step in? Unfortunately, they don't have the trillion. But between the U.S., Japan, and the West, you could get to $1 trillion. The other one is the International Energy Agency has announced their study that between 2015 and 2040, about 200 aging nuclear reactors have got to be decommissioned, shut down, and dismantled. This is absolutely a good idea. That Fukushima could only happen with a 50-year-old reactor. You wouldn't drive a 50-year-old car. How in God's name can you deal with a 50-year-old flawed design from General Electric? 44% of these reactors are in the European Union, 16% the U.S., 12% Japan. So there's investment of about $100 billion just to decommission these reactors. They've then got to be replaced by what? By high-temperature, fourth-generation, pebble-bed nuclear reactors of the most modern type. And we'll catch up on that in just a second here on World Crisis Radio.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MyTV. 1-855-905-MyTV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MyTV. 1-855-905-MyTV.
On Facebook, on the news, and in conversations with friends, we're bombarded every day with advice on how to be healthier, from gluten-free and non-GMO diets to how much exercise and sleep the body needs. But how much have you heard about alkalizing the body? AlkaVision Plasma pH drops are a holistic and natural way to get your body's pH levels back in balance. Just a few drops in water will help your body rid itself of harmful waste. And even the healthiest of diets can be complemented with your daily use of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops. Who isn't looking for more vibrance, vigor, and energy? Now buy 2 bottles of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops and get $10 off your order. Visit alkavision.com or call 800-518-7615. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops are packed with a powerful combination of the most alkaline minerals and compounds. Open the door to greater health, vitality, and zest for life. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health. Call 800-518-7615 or head to alkavision.com.
Great minds think alike. The network for the independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network. GC.
Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. So we're just going through the tremendous energy needs of the world in terms of modern energy. We've got another solar cell and or windmill company which is collapsing. But on the other side of the ledger, China is building nuclear reactors. India is building nuclear reactors. Russia is building nuclear reactors for Iran. South Korea, ROK, building nuclear reactors. The British, Perfide Albion, is building nuclear reactors. United Arab Emirates, always a favorite at the Washington Post. Belarus, and so forth. 65 countries that don't have nuclear reactors are actively considering building them, and probably 12 to 15 are very far along the road of deciding to build. There's the future. You cut yourself off from that, and you're essentially anthropological research material. And that's not something you want to be. If you want to be a modern state, you better have the full nuclear cycle, as the Iranians and others have understood. And what if you're a left liberal mushhead here in the United States? You're going to go to the Iranians and say, my imperialist government and the Israelis are right. You shouldn't have any nuclear capabilities. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, therefore, Obama's deal. This is a marché des dupes, a market of dupes, where the Chinese are duping Obama. Oh, my God. This was set up by Rice, we're told. The German ambassador here is yelling, bravo, chapeau, for Rice and company. And look at this, this obviously ridiculous, right? The premise is ridiculous in the sense that given the medieval warm period, there is very powerful reason to think that this is not man-made, that it's caused by solar activity, the various maxima and minima of the sunspot cycle and related aspects of solar activity. That's the explanation that appears to me to be most plausible. But now we're told the U.S. has to cut 28% off the 2005 level by 2025. So minus 28% by the U.S. All that has to be done by 2025. And China doesn't have to do anything until 2030 when they have to peak. From that point, they have to go down, but we're not told what. This is what in Central European diplomatic parlance you would call die Vorleistungen, and they're ridiculous. It's a market of dupes. You're going to be left high and dry. It's ridiculous. And of course, China would have good reason to proceed anyway to replace those coal-fired plants, but they are continuing. Perhaps in a more peaceful world, it would be possible to solve that. But this is obviously a piece of nonsense. Now, Obama, the domestic politics